Oh, hello, Zachary.
How was your
Hell,
off season?
boy, oh boy, what an off season it's been. I got into crypto. I bought some GameStop stock. It's been a heck of a ride this summer, and I have nothing to show for it.
And based on, I know that you're not at home, but if I didn't know that, based on the wall behind you with the chipping paints and
Hmm.
just asylum look, it would have looking it. It looks like it drove you all to madness.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I broke into an abandoned hospital and I was living in a closet.
Well, it was an exciting offseason. I mean, gosh,
Hmm.
some moves happened. We talked about Dan Campbell, we talked about Anthony Lynn, we talked about Aaron Glenn, and then we kind of just were like, you know what, we'll get back into it when the season starts. And here we are,
Hmm.
game one
And here
in
we
the
are.
books.
Yes, yes. I mean, and what a game it was.
Entertaining. I was thoroughly impressed by the energy in the stadium when everybody had left. But before we dive into the game, what were your expectations for the Lions going into this year? Like, what did you think was going to happen?
I
How did
mean, expectations, I had them at 7 wins.
bold?
Bold, I know,
Because
higher than normal.
was it last year 9 or 10 or 11?
Oh yeah, yeah, yep, yep. And then I was like, you know what? 7. Because everyone else is like, we're gonna be bad, and then everyone kept saying how bad we're gonna be. And I
Hmm.
was like, I don't know. Me. I love a 10-6, and I always like to predict a ten and
That was
six
it. You love
regardless
a
of
10 and
anything.
6.
But there was so much negativity, and yes, it is new, and even the Lions admitted it's rebuild. So I was like, well, even they're saying they're going to be bad. So I'll even give them a healthy 7. Which is even high for everybody else because of.
You give them a healthy 7. Coincidentally enough, what where we picked in the draft this year, and I think that's a great segue into what happened yesterday with the seventh pick. We
Mhm.
took offensive tackle out of Oregon, Panay Sewell,
Is it
and
Sewell or Sewell?
I'm, I mean, if you listen to Dan Campbell, which all of us should, it is
Mhm.
Sewell.
It's Sewell.
That's what he always says in his press
I
conferences.
I always screw up and say Sewell, which isn't
That's
right at all.
that no, that's phonetically not even that. That makes me that makes me think hooked on phonics did not work for you. Like
I'm always like, oh, we got that Peony Sewell.
Petey Sewell. That's a child. That's a child. That's what a child would say on a prank call. Hello, is Peony
Yeah.
Sewell there?
Is there a Peony Sewell there? No, I think it's like Peony Sewell or something. You know?
Phonetically, as the English language would dictate it, I believe it would be SEW. So like sew, like to sew a garment, and
Sure.
then L. So Sewell would be phonetically, but I believe it's Sewell is
Sewell.
what old kneecap and Dan is saying.
Well, all right. Well, regardless, what a pick.
Wow. There was a lot of preseason ups like oh, I don't know if he's going to do it because he was at the right
Mhm.
tackle, and then days before the game, Taylor Decker goes down. He's got to get surgery. He's out 4 to 5 weeks, and he just slides right
Yeah.
over left tackle, not having taken any reps at the pro level, going up against Nick Bosa. And amongst certain websites, he was rated the number 5 offensive tackle in the league last year. Last yesterday.
Yes.
I got there. I
Yeah,
got.
yeah, that day. Yeah, he was great. Yeah, I once I heard like Decker went down, I was like, oh no, I might have to lower my guess to 6 wins. I was like, I guess it'll cost us one of these wins. And I was like, we're screwed now. But then they pushed him over left tackle, and I was like, all right, rookie, okay. But
Against one of the best pass rushers in the league.
and it was like we didn't lose Decker at all.
It really was. And I mean, real quick, we're going to get back to old Peony Sewell or
Mm-hmm.
Sewell, Peony Sewell.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But real quick, shout out to our boy from last season, converted defensive lineman to offensive tackle, Matt Nelson, sliding into the right tackle position and doing what he had to do.
Mm-hmm. He was not bad.
He wasn't, I don't know that he was great, but he
It
also
wasn't
wasn't bad.
great.
No one was talking about him,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah,
ultimately is
yeah,
what you want.
yeah. He was like fine. He's definitely the weaker out of the two tackles. You know,
Absolutely. There's no
but
question about it.
yeah, but I think that was a decent move, and I was actually very happy with the offensive line.
I was to Jonah Jackson coming out there with some arrogance, nastiness. Frank Ragnow doing what he does. By the way, a lot of people don't know this. We had lunch, or I'm sorry, we had dinner when you were headlining at the Comedy Castle. Pretty sure we saw Frank Ragnow at the restaurant on the patio.
Really?
You were there. You forgot? Remember? You were. I was like
Oh,
that really big
when I
man.
was
I
in
think that's.
town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, when I was in
And
town in Royal Oaks. I was gonna say just now he was. Yeah, he doesn't live out there. You're on the sticks, baby. But
the sweet, sweet verbs.
yeah, we thought we saw him at that Royal Oak taco joint. It could have also just been a giant white man, but
I'm gonna say it was Frank. It was Frank.
yeah, he had the facial hair, didn't he have
Fresh
like,
off his fresh contract, newly engaged. That man was just
yeah,
happy to eat some tacos.
yeah, and he's like, you know what? I just made millions and millions. Let's go spend $30 on tacos.
Yeah, a good move for him would have been like, it's on me. I got this brand new contract, tacos for everybody.
Yeah, I should have got, but nope, he just probably tipped a nice solid 20% and had a nice date night that cost him about $60 to $70.
One thing that we learned about Frank Ragnow when he was drafted is that his mother and father took a very, very involved approach in raising him. So I bet you they raised him to be frugal. And I'll say that maybe he did tip more than 20%, but he strikes me as the type of guy where it's no less than 20%. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. I mean,
He
I think that's
understands they're working hard. That's a tough job.
yeah, that's the new industry standard. It's at least 20%. And I mean, honestly, even if you added pandemic pricing, you want to tip 25. And if you got a lot of money, I'm going to bump you up to 33, you rich bastard. But
You got to throw it out there. Karmically, it's going to come back to you, right?
these are my tip schedules. And also, I hate tipping. So,
Where do you
you
draw the
know,
line at tipping? I mean, is it just servers, or are you going to tip the car wash dryer? I mean, you don't have really a car anymore because you're in
yeah.
the city. But like, what about a
I,
what about a bathroom attendant? What about
yeah. No, I don't even like that's get out of here. I don't need help with a towel. I'll grab my own towel. I don't want to tip the bed. I try to like I'll go into the bathroom. There's a bathroom attendant in there, I'll just try to be real fast so they can't get to helping me,
you're
you know?
you so you don't clean up? You're like in
Yeah,
and
I'll
out.
get in there. I'll just get like a real quick scrub on the hands, like the fastest hand wash, and they'll go to reach to give me a paper towel, and I'm gone. I'm out the door. And they're like, he's in the
And
right because he didn't tip because I didn't do anything because he was too quick for my service.
or you just dip out real quick like lightning, and then all of a sudden you're just in the kitchen with all the cooks. You're like, I don't want to deal with Ray in the bathroom.
Yeah. I mean, if it wouldn't be crazy, I would. If I saw the servers grabbing my food out the kitchen window, I'd just run up and push them out of the way and grab it myself and be like, now I don't got to tip you.
And then you leave a nice 33% tip for the server. Bathroom
If I
attendants
was
and
a rich
servers
man.
should pool tips.
Oh yeah.
That should
Oh,
be
I
all part of
love
the tip pool thing.
I love pool tips. I thought that was great because I was a
But we
bad
have.
server, so it made me money.
I remember one of the jokes the first jokes I ever heard you tell was about you sneaking back in your serving job to grab some croutons and put them on bread, and you'd have a bread sandwich because that's how
Oh
poor you
yeah.
were. I love that joke. But we've gotten off topic. Let's get back to
Yeah.
old Panay Peony Sewell.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with him playing so well at left tackle yesterday, and let's see how it goes the rest of the time Taylor Decker's out. Do you
Sure.
keep him at left tackle? Do you move Taylor Decker to right tackle, or do you just flat out put him on the trade block? Because I bet you he would fetch a pretty nice price.
He probably would fetch a nice price, because he's a probably top 12 tackle, Decker.
Big strong guy.
Yeah. And there's, teams are always hungry for tackles. Personally, I would put Decker on the right.
I agree.
You
I
know,
agree
if
with
he
you.
if you got the rook and he's playing just as well, he can only get better. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like
And
if
we have Taylor Decker. I mean, his contract isn't great, but it's
Mhm.
also not terrible. And I think he is in town until checking the numbers here over, thanks to the folks over at overthecap.com. He's
Oh
uh
yeah,
he's under contract until 2024, and then it looks like it's voided. Maybe he's under contract in this is an odd website, they've reformatted.
yeah.
I don't know what it
Mhm.
means, but he could be here until 2025. So, and he's only making, I mean, the most he makes is in 2022, which would be next year at 14, just over 14.5, and then it goes down to 13.7, and then down to 13. So it's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it'll
keep
make him
him.
a high. Keep him. He'd be a high priced right tackle, but we're saying we got a rookie scale left tackle, so it evens out. It's fine. And
Yeah.
then you got yourselves. We got a solid line for what 3-4 years. Don't even
And
worry about that
I agree. I mean, that line, those running lanes yesterday.
line. We had a
Whoo
run game.
wee!
I haven't seen a run game
Right?
in for years.
It takes your breath away, and then you got to catch it and burp it back up. I get it. What I Those lanes were enormous. It was so great just watching them dip, dunk, and shot, jive, dip. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, there was a lot of check downs.
Which
So
which
like
I think are to be expected with Goff.
yeah, Goff's a check down guy. But the lanes, I mean, Swift got a lot of yards. Jamal Williams, holy
Jamal
smokes,
Williams,
what a
I
find that was.
I agree with you. I mean, that's got to really hurt the Green Bay and their fans, because I'll tell you what, I loved watching Jamal Swift yesterday. I'm sorry, Jamal
Yeah.
Williams yesterday.
Yeah.
He
Well, I
was
mean, hey, when they're together, they're Jamal Swift or Swift
and
Jamal, baby.
it's crazy because Williams got the start, but Swift appears to have gotten more touches at 19. But I mean, Williams had 17 touches. Williams rushed for more yards on fewer carries, and he uh, he had 8 receptions for 56 yards. Swift had 8 for 65 in that touchdown, including that 43-yard screen. But I'll tell you this: everybody's been saying Swift and Williams, it's 1A and 1B, right? We're
Yeah,
just going to
yeah,
play both of them. I'm all for that. But if
yeah.
we're
Hmm.
going 1 and 2, Williams has more traits for a primary ball carrier than Swift does.
Yeah, yeah, I actually agree. Williams looks more of like more of a kind of like he could more of a running back.
He
Whereas Swift had kind of like that Riddick vibe still, like
Sure.
he's kind of a pass catching running back,
Riddick
which
is
is
Riddick is gone.
yeah.
Swift is not nearly as patient as Williams, I think. I think there were a couple times where Williams waited for the hole to open because he trusted it would get there, and he was through it. Whereas
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Swift had to felt like he had to make some moves.
yeah. Swift is like, shifty, catches the ball.
Hmm.
Williams is I'll run, I'll find the lanes guy. A little more classic run backy. And boy, oh boy, and I loved his hair. I thought he had really
He's such a
cool
fun guy
hair.
too. I mean, think about this offseason. We have Dan Campbell, who's giving us all these great sound bites in his interviews, but so does Jamal Williams. He just says the craziest things. I can't
Wait, what
remember
did
any of them, but any of the times that I see Jamal Williams press conference, I watch it because he
yeah?
is so damn entertaining.
Oh, that's fun.
We
He's
we we
saying
only signed him for 2 years, and I say lock him up for another 4 or 5.
after this game, after this performance, I agree.
Just based on his personality alone, I love him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the
So I
performance, I
mean,
was a fan of too.
between those two, we had a running game. Hawkinson's gonna be top five tight
Real
end, I
good,
think.
real
Yeah.
good. He went yesterday for 8 for 97, a long of 23. He had 10 targets. And I mean, actually, Swift had more targets than Hawkinson. But as we said, he is a check down guy. Also, TJ Hawkinson, an extension of the line, and he'll get his hands on some people.
Yeah. He adds that line, and he's part of the running game. We
Yep,
were. I remember when you were telling me earlier this year about Anthony Lynn, about how he builds running games and
yep.
that he's a run guy, and I was like, we haven't been a running team in years. It's
It's
not
hard to
going to
believe that
happen.
it could even be.
It's not possible. And then I saw yesterday, I was like, wait a minute, we're like running, and we're like controlling the ball. we
And
had like a lot of
consistently
we had like
getting
a decent
chunks of yardage, like not getting caught up at the line of scrimmage, but falling forward for 2 or 3, or breaking a chunk off for 10 to 12.
Yeah, and I loved there was one series where it was I think it was Swift, I think, but it was like a run play, got a big chunk, and then he did the same exact play, just he shifted it to the other side,
Yep.
and then he did it again. He did the same play 3 times in a row,
Yeah. I
and
remember
then
the
the third time he
commentators.
just ran into a wall. Yeah, I remember the commentators talking about
They're like,
it.
well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. They go, do you fault Anthony Lynn for running the same play over and over again? And Sanchez was just like, well, I mean, I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like, just keep running it. And he kept.
I thought I thought that was funny. Yeah, he did it and he ran. I was like, great. He's like, let's do it again. Then it worked again. And then I don't know. I'm not gonna fault the man for like, hey, let's try a third time. Let's see how
They
long
say
we can
third
get
time's
away
the
with
charm.
this. Yeah, yeah. And granted, they stopped us by the third time, but if it's keep knocking on that door till they say it's closed, baby. You know?
Damn right. Williams had a long of 20 yards yesterday. DeAndre Swift had a long of 16 yards. I mean, we rushed for over 100 yards as a team, which, you know, that's big for us.
Yeah. Yeah, the offense looked good. Goff, boy oh boy, does he kind of take his time and does he stare receivers down a little bit. It was kind
Yeah.
of frustrating, like we're used to Stafford.
Well,
So like
especially, did
I'm
you see
watching
Stafford
it.
play last night?
Good God, he looked great.
So
Oh,
good.
I think he's gonna take him to the bowl. I hope he does.
He could win the
Uh,
MVP the way he was playing last night.
yeah, I
Oh,
think he's gonna be great over there. Good for him.
yeah.
And then, but now we're used to that, So I'm watching this and I'm like, why is he holding on to the ball so long? He would hold on to it. It felt like an eternity to what I'm used
So
to.
long, and he's slow. He seems to be slower than Stafford, and
Yeah.
so he's trying to run around back. I'm like, this play's done. It's over. Here's
Yes,
what
he
I hope
does.
for Jared Goff. Here's what I hope that it comes from Jared Goff. It's that he is he cuts down his interceptions, and he
Mhm.
just becomes a game manager with the ability to sling it from the play action. I don't need him throwing it down all the time to Khalif Raymond trying to catch his burners on the
Mhm.
back end. But I wouldn't mind having a game manager for a year to 3, depending on how he does, and
Yeah.
just the
Yeah, I don't mind
ability to
either.
sling it.
Yeah, yeah, which I think is like kind of what the plan is. And watching like the first half, I was like, ugh, but he did seem to get better in the second half. I think he sped up a little bit because of the urgency, to get back in the game. And he looked better in that second half. I was
And I know
nervous, but
that,
I mean the whole team did really.
yeah, I mean, outside of a couple plays too, I know we're not giving any presence to the defense, but that's just because it seemed like there was no defense yesterday at times. I thought we were going to get some pass rushing. I was really excited to see a couple players that were out. Julian Okwara, he ended up getting hurt. Levi
Hmm.
Unzwerky, I believe that's how you pronounce it, but second round pick from this year, he ended up not being there. Aleem McNeil, that defensive tackle, number 54, we picked him up in the third round. What a beast. I love that pick. And then that forced fumble from Trey Flowers in the fourth quarter to get us that drive, that potentially tying
Huge.
drive.
Yeah,
Debo
yeah,
Samuel
yeah.
crosses the first down line. I'm like, oh, it's over. At least this was
That's
exciting. We
it.
got through it. But he punches it out, and I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah. I love a game. We were out of it. I was like, this is I don't want to watch this anymore. But when they somehow they didn't die. I mean, if Patricia's team would have rolled over in the third, and it would have been over. But the fact that they got me to stand up at the end of the game, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be standing at the end of this. They got me standing out of my chair.
Clapping, vocally hoarse.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
they pulled it off. I was like,
it was
holy smokes, I'm actually in a good mood.
It was very exciting. Like, you don't want to lose, you never want to lose, but that was a
Mm-hmm.
very encouraging loss because there was no fight. And a credit to the whole team, but man, for the reputation that Jared Goff has gotten since his time in Los Angeles, I'm sorry, yeah, since his time in Los Angeles, he's just like a head case. He's just a quitter. He's just like, oh, I'm a spoiled little. He didn't give up yesterday either. He looked
No, he didn't.
better, and he really it seemed like he's like, oh, I can prove myself right now. I can. I think we're going to take some games this year that we are not supposed to take. Case in point, I think we come out of this Green Bay game with a win.
I was just thinking Green Bay, 3 on New Orleans. We may, we might, I don't know.
Remember the last time Detroit played on Monday night in Green Bay? We got robbed by the refs on those two roughing the passer calls back in
Mm-hmm.
Patricia's early days.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some. I think that's still the taste in some of these players' mouths. I think it's Dan Campbell's first shot at prime time, and I think it's the only chance outside of Thanksgiving for this team to have a national stage and be like, "Hey, you want to keep overlooking us? That's fine, but we are fucking here."
Yeah, and Green Bay seems to be in a bit. They might be in shambles. They pulled
They
Rodgers'
always are in
glove
the
out.
beginning of the season, though, right? Don't you feel like for the last 3 or 4 years, Aaron Rodgers has come out and just said, "Well, it's just the first game. That's 2 games. We got 16
Yeah,
more to
yeah.
go." And then he's like, "No, we got to start turning it up." And then all of a sudden, they start turning it up.
Yeah, then Rodgers gets mad, and he's like, "Whoa, my girlfriend got impregnated by John Mulaney," and he starts slinging the ball real far and takes it out on everybody else.
But now he's
Um,
married to Shailene Woodley and getting old Miles Teller from Whiplash, the drummer from Whiplash, pumped in the face.
oh yeah.
Like some summer vacation or something, and Miles Teller got punched in the face, and all I could find as the reasoning was that he was hanging out with Aaron Rodgers.
Hilarious. Somebody then later like, wait, is that quarterback with the man bun? No, they punched him.
Uh, Discount double check. I hate alliteration. Well, I think you're right. I think Goff did a pretty good job with marching the team down the field. He's dinking and dunking. His accuracy was not great on the deep balls,
Wasn't
but
great.
I think
Threw a
I think
pick
that'll get
six.
fixed. Yeah, that was bad.
You know,
Um,
honestly, part of me was wondering when I was watching that game, like since it came down to the wire, I was like, boy, if Staffy was in there, we might have won.
well, also consider us going for it on those that first fourth down and Jamal Williams stumbling. He gets that. We get a field goal out of that possession. That's 3 more points. All of a sudden, it's a 5 point
Mm-hmm.
loss. But our kicker
Close.
missed a 51, and then it was long enough. It just hooked. That's another 3 points. It's a 2 point game. That position that we had at the end of the game was field goal range when we went for it on fourth down. That puts us up by 1 point. We could
Oh
win that
yeah,
game. Couple
yeah.
different, just two different shakes. We won
Mm-hmm.
that game.
Couple. Yeah, we were in it more than it looked like. Because boy, it looked like we were getting stomped.
It
But
sure did. After that pick
so
six, it was bad. Speaking of their defense just getting it done for their team, how about ours? I want to talk to you about Jeff Okuda. Comes out
sure.
today that he ruptured his Achilles. He's out for
Yep.
the season. He
Mm-hmm.
played, and I mean, it was pretty apparent when he was just getting reamed out by our DB coach Aubrey Pleasant on the
Yeah, he was yelling
sidelines.
at him.
Ooh,
Yeah.
and he just wouldn't take any accountability.
Yeah.
Did you see him kind of like keep making excuses? So my question to you is, I mean, I know it doesn't really matter now because he's not going to be playing the rest of the season, but is he a
Mm-hmm.
prima donna? Is he just a head case? Is he under the impression that he's better than he is?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe he needs to be. He still thinks, I'm the number three. I was Ohio State. I was great, and then he needs somebody to check him. But he was having a great camp.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still a loss, but this Achilles definitely. It's probably he's. I think he's done. I think his career's done as a cornerback. Maybe we can try him at safety,
He's kind of
but
small for a safety.
yeah. But I mean, coming back from Achilles, I mean, there goes all your speed.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So I don't
Um,
know if it may not even matter because I think this might be the last we ever see of him.
oh man, that means our starting
So even
cornerbacks are likely Amani Aruarie, who I'm fine with. He's not a number one
I
corner.
like him. I
He's a number
like
two
him.
guy. I'm fine with him at number two.
Hmm.
But that
Hmm.
means, gosh, I can't remember Iffy out of Syracuse. I can't remember his last name.
Was it
Metafuanu?
Manafuanu?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
But
that's
they
right.
call him Iffy. He's going to get pushed into the. I mean, I guess this is the best year for that to happen since
Trial by
expectations are
fire,
low.
baby. Get
Yeah,
him
it
in
worked out
there.
for Aruaria a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, it worked out for him. Not so much Okuda, and then Okuda got yelled at a lot. Boy, I wonder what
Tracy,
he was saying. Man, I wonder what he was getting yelled at. What does he be like? Hey,
well,
man,
he
you're not.
stumbled. I think he took the wrong angle on the run or whatever.
Hmm.
But like he was definitely out of position.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so he's probably
Um,
yelling at him like, "Hey, buddy, you're out of position. You jerk. You got to start playing better. You butthead. I'm tired of this." That's
But it
probably what he
just
was
looked
saying.
so much more intense because the coach was so jacked and his muscles were just rippling. But he's saying Mr. Rogers insults.
Yeah.
Gee whiz, Jeff. Gee whiz.
Yeah.
Judah.
You gotta be a little bit better there, buddy. And everyone on
Yes. And
TV's
then
like, holy smokes, he's getting reamed.
later on, I don't know if you saw it, but they're like, "Oh yeah, he was getting some tough love." But then, like in the next quarter, Akuda missed another play, and the same coach who was just reaming him out with his Mister Rogers like comments,
Hmm.
kisses him on the forehead, and the commentators are just like, "Oh well, sometimes you do something that calls for a little tough love, and sometimes you make a mistake, and it's like it's okay, buddy, you'll get him next time." I was
Yeah.
just, so I'm worried about our defense, but I mean, some of the numbers are encouraging. Will Harris, he did not play well in my opinion. Tracy Walker, on the other hand, though, he got a tackle for loss, he had a
Yeah.
sack, and he had
Hmm.
7 solo tackles, which I mean, he was benched in Patricia's defense.
Yeah. This one seems to be like they figured out how to use them, So that's good,
Let him
you
roam
know.
the back of the field there. They're kind of, I mean, I guess it's not really
Let
quite
them
the
roam. What was what was our linebacker situation? Is Revis Maben? Is he out there?
Revis. He's I believe he's a special teamer, but
Is he
our
still special teams?
linebacker, I think we start four. I think we switched to a 3-4. So you've got Romeo and Trey on the outside, kind of just as like
Mm.
a end contain like a pass rush situation, take your hand out of the dirt, and then our starting middle linebackers are Jamie Collins and Alex Anzalone,
Oh, okay.
with
Yeah,
just
they I
fantastic
mean
hair
they
on Alex Anzalone. My God, that those blonde locks just flowing. That's the type. That's a that he looks like a player that you would create in Madden. Anytime I would ever create a player in Madden, I'd always just want their hair out of the back of the helmet. And my God, does he have it just flowing out there? He's got the best
Yeah.
hair since Troy Polamalu,
I've always liked a long-haired defensive player.
for sure. Dangerous on offense because you're going to get ripped down by it, but
Yeah. But
on defense, rare.
I think you want a big full head of hair, just flying like behind you like a cape, as you injure a man for the
A
rest of his life.
golden maned cape. Yeah. So and Alex Anzalone just looks like he's the nicest guy to where if he did injure someone for his life, he would just be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry. I will get your kids to school." Like he just seems like a shucks, gee willikers type of fella.
Yeah. He's him and the DB coach, they just talk the same.
Yeah,
Oh shucks, gee willikers. And the coach is like, yeah, you're doing a fiddling job out there.
fiddling job, and then he's like they've got like a jig. Speaking of culture, I mean, Campbell doing what he's supposed to do, right? They didn't give
Hmm.
up. They didn't. I couldn't believe that they just didn't quit. I had quit. It was when I could.
So did I.
I
Quit. Yeah.
I felt the energy change when DeAndre Swift took that 43-yard screen pass into the end zone, and it was a great run. It was a great block by Jonah Jackson to get him there. Wonderful play.
Yeah.
But he gets into the end zone, and we're still down like 20 points around, roughly 20 points. And DeAndre Swift just goes, shh. I'm like, dude, we are down huge. You need to shut your mouth. And then all of a sudden, like, it just started rolling. And, like, it's like he knew something I didn't know.
Yeah. Like they're all talking. They're like, we're gonna start playing now. These fans have no idea. And then they kept fighting, and they're like, it's getting pretty loud here in Ford Field. And then
And the seats were
I looked at
empty,
the stands, they were all empty.
but it
I was
was
like, oh, that's a
loud.
bummer. Yeah, it
It
did
was.
seem loud. I was like,
But if
why
you
is it
look at the seats
loud?
that were empty, too, if you looked earlier in, like, the first quarter, those seats
Mm.
were filled with red. There were so many 49er fans there yesterday.
There was why were there so many Niners fans there?
Oh, because there's not many Lions fans. We're dying.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's simple.
Lions fans are an endangered species, my friend. There's not much left for us.
Yeah. But they'll be coming back, I think.
Dude, I was watching the game yesterday and like that first couple offensive drives, I was so excited. I was like, "Yeah! oh my God, we're moving the ball. There are running lanes. This is awesome. And my youngest daughter, she's 8. Her name's Lena. She comes down and she goes, no, no. And she just gets in front of the TV and she goes, no, they're going to hurt you. Don't get your hopes up. Don't put your faith in this team. They're going to let you down. And I'm trying to explain to her as an 8-year-old, like, I know though, but the expectations are already low. No one's expecting
Mhm.
these things. And she goes, they're going to hurt you. And then she just walks upstairs, gets halfway up the stairs, turns around to look at me and just goes,
Yeah, it's like it's just an abusive lover. You're like, I can't. We're drawn. We have chemistry.
I remember people, and then the most classic dad joke you can make regarding a Lions fan is like, don't ever teach your kids to like the Lions because that's child abuse.
Yeah, but I mean, we all knew this was going to be a loss, 100%.
But it was a good loss, and it gave me reason to believe that we're going to win next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
But
a
we're
good
not done
loss.
talking about this week, as we have a guest to represent. We always like to do our
Oh
thing.
yes.
First up,
First it up.
get the Lion stuff out of the way, and then we like to talk to a fan of the team that 9 times out of 10 beats us. And today,
Mm-hmm.
that is a San Francisco 49ers fan.
San Francisco.
A G Willikers, gosh darn tootin' San Francisco 49er fan. She is truly one of the funniest comics that I've seen on the stage, and she's your former roommate, a good friend of the
Mm-hmm.
program,
Mm-hmm.
I'll say.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. Let's
Yeah.
bring her on in.
Show
And
favorite.
fan of the program, it's Caitlin Peluffo, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, how's it going?
Like,
You guys just let me in. I had no idea. Hi, how's
Yep.
it going? Yeah. No, happy to be
you know
here.
you know that Paul Rudd clip that he always plays on Conan O'Brien's show, The Mac and Me, and like the little alien pops his head up from off screen? No one knows. I'm not gonna push
I know
it
what you're
further.
talking about. Caitlin,
You left me hanging there. You just looked at me like I was a goddamn
I thought
idiot.
you were asking Caitlin specifically. That's why I was waiting.
I had no clue what you're talking about.
Well, he enters the screen the same way you did. You were down, you were like looking at something, and then you just go. It was my favorite. It was my favorite.
Well, Kate.
Just happy to be here. All right.
Yeah. I'm happy to have you on the program here to talk about your number one team, your favorite. You know, Caitlin's a diehard Niners fan.
My
She's got a hat.
God.
You know, she has one hat.
It's mostly shirts and hat. I have, I think, 2 shirts, 1 hat, and they're all from 5 years ago. So.
Yeah, which means she bleeds golden red. You know,
She tosses out the green for that golden red. 49ers fan through and through.
Yep.
Why do you like the 49ers?
Yeah.
Are you from San Francisco?
I am from San Francisco. Yeah. And born and raised Bay Area. And my dad loves the 49ers. My dad looks a lot like Joe Montana. Did you know that?
Fella.
Handsome fella. My dad, very handsome. Back in the day, Joe or Gary? Which one? I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
wow,
yeah.
He put the jersey on. You couldn't tell, huh?
You couldn't tell. He's also very tall. He's 6'4", but
wow.
you know. Oh,
I'd like a parody character of Joe Montana named Gary Dakota. That's just what I'm thinking. I got a real handsome version of Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. You know, just whip it over a mountain.
Yeah, that's Caitlin's dad.
Yeah, that's my dad to a T. Yeah.
Was he was your dad like a sit in front of the TV, drink a beer, and yell at it type football man, or was a go to the Buffalo Wild Wings, have an appetizer? You know, if they win, great. If not, you got a good app.
Let's be clear about a Buffalo Wild. Oh, Caitlin's frozen, but I want to be clear.
Is drinking the beverages of liquor. So.
Mm.
Yeah. He's a sober boy, but
That's
he will
nice.
yell at it. Mostly he stands up and he goes, rah, when something doesn't go right. Or if something goes right, he goes, okay. Like it's very, very low key.
There is
you
something
know.
to be said about that optimistic okay when you're watching an athletic event. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I really just there's so much said in the tone of those two letters.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And then if it goes bad, he stands up and goes, ah, and then goes and mows the lawn or something, and then comes back.
That makes me
He's a
wonder
grump.
what he was like as a disciplinarian towards you. If he gets angry, he's just like, ah. Just
Pretty much.
what did he do if he got mad at you?
He just
Well,
growls.
yeah, he also would yell, but I was a bad kid, so I get it. I was a real piece
Sure.
of shit. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
So, Caitlin, did you watch the game yesterday? I know you texted me for it was like halftime, and she's like, "When's it start?" You know, diehard fan. She bleeds red and gold. She's got a hat.
Sure
do. 2 shirts.
I got 2 shirts, baby. One's a long sleeve, one's the short sleeve. Okay.
Yeah,
That's the title of this episode. 2 hats, 1 shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched about the thing is I couldn't get it on. I don't have cable. And so
sure.
my boyfriend just came back from being on the road, so I spent some time with him. And then I tried watching it on my computer, but I had to download something, and I don't trust your websites there, Jeff. You got some very bad websites.
Yeah,
which site did you?
Some boxes.
What did you send?
I sent a Buff Streams. Do you use that one?
I don't, but I'm rarely not at home in front of my television.
Yeah, you get local. Yeah, I'm out.
I get local cable.
Yeah, I'm a pirate. I don't like
the combination of the word buff stream. I wouldn't trust that either for the life of me.
Buffstream.tv. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's probably like Filipino or something, you know.
It was like, download this in order to watch. And I was like, nope, sorry. I will watch the highlights on YouTube in about 30 minutes.
Buffstream TV makes me think of like a darker version of QVC, like where you would just buy shit that you shouldn't have access to.
No, it's a great site. It's got your soccer games, it's got your football, your tennis, all the sports. All you gotta do is constantly close pop-up ads and never click on them, or it'll send you to different sites. You know, it's
that's what it did. It gave me the runaround, the pop-up runaround for about 10 minutes, and I was like, God damn it.
Yeah,
there's a fine art to figuring out how to work the buff stream.
How often does a pop-up come up that genuinely generates interest for you? You're like, I want to click it.
Never.
Oh,
never once?
No,
I don't think so. No, sometimes horny singles in your area gets me going, but
sure, they'll give me with erection pills.
I bet they would, Jeff.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you know what? I can always use a little help down there. You know, thanks for.
I lived with you for a year. I believe you. I've seen your sweatpants. Good God.
Yep. Wouldn't mind a wake-up call down there, you know?
He's worn the same outfit 5 days in a row and been like, no, I'm fine. It's like,
oh, yeah.
We know you're not fine, Jeff.
Sure. How dare someone have COVID depression in the pandemic? Gotta get ready to go to work.
Oh, boy.
So you saw the highlights.
I saw the highlights. Yeah.
What'd you think? What'd you think of your team and the clips that you saw?
We did great for about 3 quarters, and then we really fell apart at the end there. That was real bad.
Did you fall apart, or did the Lions finally wake up? We have to hang on to whatever we can hang on to, because generally when we talk about that, we have these weekly discussions, we're justifying a loss.
I see. Yes. Well, we fumbled, I think, twice. And we had an onside kick go awry. And then
guy right in the face.
Yeah. Poor Kittle. He's so good though. He's so good. And so I was surprised. I was like, I might watch more, because Mitchell's very good too. And Samuel is also very good. So thank you for awakening me to this. And then Garoppolo, what a little heartthrob, huh?
Yeah, he's a
handsome fella. Yeah,
he's the most handsome quarterback. And not that it matters one way or the other, but I hear like he regularly dates adult film stars.
Good,
like that's his go-to.
Really?
That's what I've heard. I've heard he's been to the AVNs with the lady on his arm, and he's the +1.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. For such a handsome man, he
Hey, those some of those women are gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Sure, but
That's an open-minded man. That's a man who dates strippers when he grew up.
For
like
sure,
his
Jimmy
first girlfriend
Garoppolo
was
is a
stripper.
student of the game of football as a quarterback. He's also a student. If there is one person you want to teach you about the female anatomy from a man standpoint, it's an adult film star, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He can find the clip.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Jeff's still searching, but
Can't hit a
Garoppolo
check down,
can find
but he can find that clit no problem.
Yeah. This made up clit you keep talking about.
Oh no, the sweatpants are talking, Jeff. The sweatpants are talking.
Wow, but yeah, he's a handsome guy. A little salt and pepper on the sides. He's getting a little older.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
I
it.
love a salt and pepper.
He looks like he's about to sell you those dick pills there, Jeff. He's the
buying
doctor.
from
Yeah. Have you ever considered Blue Chew, sir?
he would pop into the adult video I'm watching. Hey, buddy, I know you're watching. It's me, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, he's sitting in an empty tub.
Yeah, that's my girlfriend right there.
Yeah.
Imagine Jimmy Garoppolo in just like some Dockers with a tucked-in polo shirt, walking through a grassy knoll. He's like the infomercial guy who would tell you about whatever side effects come with the pill he's pitching, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, he cares. He cares.
Yeah. So you think you're gonna watch the season more this year?
Yeah, because I found that they're gonna play a lot of the games on Peacock, which I have, and they're gonna play a lot of the games on Hulu, which I also have, and I got Fox Sports Net or Fox Sports or whatever when I was trying to figure out how to watch the fucking game.
Yeah.
And I got that, and they're playing a few games on that. So I'm like, I think I might be able to watch a lot of these games without going to a bar and getting hammered.
That's okay. You can watch some games in your own home.
Yeah.
And get hammered there.
No. I have to work at night. I'm a professional, Zach. Okay. So I got to keep it together for at least 4 hours out of the day.
Yeah. Audiences always go, I hope this comedian's sober. Otherwise, they better not be loose up there after football watching.
Oh God.
Football watching?
Yeah, football watching.
I get very loose on a Sunday. Woo, I have a good time. So
well, it's exciting. You're gonna be watching the Niners. They're Super Bowl favorites, or not favorites. They're in the contention for it this year. They're supposed to be good.
I mean, that last quarter was very upsetting. They really kind of fell apart.
We lulled you to sleep.
The Lions did very well, I thought, in the last quarter. That was a very exciting game. The first quarter and the last quarter was like, this is gonna be a good game,
Yeah, then you stomped us for a while, and then I think your team got like, we got them, and you started getting a little lazy, and then we didn't give up because we're always losing.
Yeah.
And then we still did, but we turned it into a game.
Yeah, it was impressive. I think you guys got a shot, huh?
That's all right. Yeah, don't talk down to us with your better team.
Don't need your goddamn pity.
Yeah.
I thought your running game looked very good.
I agree, and that's crazy for us because we never had a running game before, but we all of a sudden had an offensive line, and it was wonderful.
It looked good.
Yeah, our whole lives we've never had one.
The highlights told me that they looked good.
The commentators yesterday said that the Lions are trying to instill a culture. Then they're basing the example off of the team that Kyle Shanahan has put together in the San Francisco 49ers. So we were playing our role models yesterday.
Oh, and you still failed. Okay.
Yeah,
still failed.
Still failed. Yeah. The grasshopper is still succumbed to the gardener. I don't know. I tried.
Sure.
Yeah, you pulled all the right words, though. You pulled all the right words. That was well done.
Yeah. We all get it. Yeah.
We'll get you next time, and we'll finally get that paternal approval that Dan Campbell holds the 49ers to.
Yep. Or Caitlin's Joe Montana dad.
Yeah, Gary Montana. That's him.
Were you a Kaepernick fan?
Yes, I loved Kaepernick. I thought he was
good.
great. He was so good. And that was when I got upset with the 49ers, was the way they treated him. And that's when I kind of stopped supporting as much. And then also I really tied my day and my mood to how the 49ers were doing. And I was like, I got to stop doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh my God. when they lost to the Seahawks again in what's it called? Not when they were in the Super Bowl, but the year after when they went to the I almost
the
said
NFC
semis.
Championship?
Yes. When they lost to that wrecked me for a week, and I was like, I gotta knock this off. I'm already a fragile little dove. I can't be really
You're
so
putting too much into it.
putting too much into it. How did I quit?
How did you just get off the bandwagon? Because we've been hurt for so long. I would love to know how to do it.
I literally moved out of my house and made the conscious choice to not get cable.
You moved across the country. You moved from San Francisco to New York. Just
I moved literally 2 blocks. I moved a block from Crown Heights and then up 2 blocks to another apartment in Crown Heights. And I was like, I'm not getting cable. I can't do this anymore. And so I stopped.
You had to kick your football habit.
Yeah. I had to stop. And because I used to do, I was on like in a fantasy league. I was also in the over-unders, and it was just like, I can't do this anymore. It's really affecting my mood. And so and then I started getting good at comedy and I was like, well, now I just have no time. So
you couldn't. Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll go ahead and put good in quotes, but yeah.
sure we'll have a couple quotes when we write this all up. We'll quote it as good.
Good comedy.
I think you had a fantasy team. How long did you do fantasy for?
I did fantasy for 2 years. I was in it with people I went to, or excuse me, I was in the over under for like 4 years. That one was really fun because you didn't have to pick people. You just had to pick who you think was going to beat the spread.
Okay.
So that was fun. That was actually, I would do that again. But it's the fantasy, I was in 2 years with people I worked with in my restaurant, and it was really fun. But it was just really, really time consuming. And I never got dead last. I think I came close to winning 1 year. And yeah. But then some of these guys are real nerds about it. So
Oh yeah, there's complete. They look at the numbers and they're like calculating and they're like 3 weeks ahead of you. And you're like, I can't do this, too much brain power. I usually lose in all mine.
That's me. But I do win. But it's affected my comedy.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right. Doesn't it? It really takes up when you could be like writing a joke. You're just like, but who's injured? And then you go through. I could never think more than 2 weeks ahead. I always just like week of, I was very in the moment with my team, which was not good. So
I would always try and make a trade happen and then be like, this bit will work for another week. And then that bit ended up having to work for the whole season. And then I would go on the road and do those bits and just hate myself. But I had a trophy.
Yeah,
it didn't balance out.
There you go. Yeah, Dave Attell is one of the worst fantasy football people.
Yeah, for sure. He's got a new bit every second, so he has no time for fucking Kittle and all your games.
Yeah, he can't figure it out. I'm in a Astoria Comics fantasy football league.
Oh, is that with Colin Chamberlain?
Yeah.
Yeah, he asked me to join that one, and I said if I do, I will probably kill Steve and myself in a murder-suicide. So I can't do that,
Oh, really? I wonder if I'm filling in your spot. Oh, I'm like the only not Astoria person in there, I think.
I got asked very last minute. I have a feeling, no, I think you were already in there. I got asked the day before the draft. So I have a feeling they were like, Caitlin likes sports, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I am unhinged when I do that. So I can't do that. No.
They're
too
like,
competitive.
I've seen her in a hat, I believe. I think she bleeds gold and red.
Oh, I'm gonna wear that hat tonight. Okay, I'm gonna wear that hat tonight, and I'm gonna show you. It's a flat brim, baby. I came to play. I think I also have a beanie. And they're all from 5 years ago. They're all very
ready for
old
any
hats.
season, any weather. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Then Caitlin stopped being a fan because Colin kept kneeling. She's like, I'm out of here.
No, it's because they fired him for kneeling. Let the man kneel. You see what happened? We didn't let him kneel, and then the whole world exploded. I blame the 49ers.
The Niners did all that.
Yeah.
We all need to take a knee.
Is kneeling still? Are we done with kneeling now? I didn't notice any kneeling talk or anything yesterday.
You know what? As far as like the national anthem went, they didn't usually they're all up on them when they're. Yesterday was also September 12th, so they did like a whole
Oh yeah.
thing for 9/11. So
Yeah, you
they
can't be
didn't
kneeling
focus
during
on
9/11.
anyone
Yeah.
on the sidelines. They had like a video or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. September 11th. That's the time you're like, well, just for today, and then maybe we'll kneel
Yeah.
next week. Yeah, we'll kneel for Thanksgiving because fuck us for Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? We really
But the
did not.
turkey.
No, we were real dicks again.
Yeah, there's a lot of 9/11 stuff yesterday too. I don't know, the football loves it. They'd have like a whole half hour for 9/11. It's like, I know, but
Yeah.
everyone's drinking here.
No. You can't drink when you're standing next to a reflecting pool. Okay.
Yeah, everyone's hammered. They're just, flag of a tragedy. Everyone's blackout drunk, and they're like, let's get ready for some football now. It's like, all right.
I did a rooftop show, and on the roof, on the roof, you get up there to perform, and the backdrop is the Twin Towers.
Just two lights.
The lights.
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, I was like, well, you're ready for some dick jokes because I'm getting paid. So I am contractually obligated to tell you jokes in front of this very sad, contemplative backdrop.
Yeah, she's funny. And oh man, that truly is a tragedy.
How did the show go?
I mean, it was fine. It was a rooftop show for a guy who was getting to know the neighbors. Like, he just moved into the building. And so what better than to throw a comedy show on your roof on 9/11? And then he was hosting it, and he had a lot of Bill Cosby jokes. And it was like, wow.
Oh, okay.
You're lucky you have a cute dog. Otherwise, you'd be making no friends in this building.
Yeah, you've made sure that your neighbors will not talk to you anymore after this. It just had the exact opposite effect of what he wanted.
I went to go to his bathroom, and he had a cutting board out, and there was a bunch of cocaine on it. And I was like, well, he's sharing. That's nice.
That's nice. Nice guy there.
Yeah.
Wait, or he just left it out.
No. He was like, you want some? And I was like, no, thanks. I read the news. I saw that a lot of comics just died from doing cocaine. I'll see you later.
Poison in your powder now.
Yeah.
Wait, where's Bill Cosby jokes? Were they pro, anti? Was he?
I'm pretty sure he was pro, but with a chuckle, which is always fun.
Which is very disarming. Yeah, that shows that he doesn't mean it.
Yeah, he called all those women lying whores. I don't understand.
Well, Caitlin, lying whores. That little chuckle really.
Yeah. But I was like, I think, don't look at me. I think it's hilarious. Everyone on this rooftop is uncomfortable, but I understand comedy, so
they're uncomfortable probably because of the lights that are going up right behind you.
Yeah. Not because of that misogynistic rant you just went on. They're gold diggers. Jesus.
Gold digging whores.
Yeah.
By the way, 9/11. Remember that?
Yeah. What a bummer,
God.
huh?
By the way, I've got drinks in the cooler, rails on the cutting board.
Yeah.
Then the whole time you're up there being like, boy, I gotta think about the Niners for tomorrow.
Yeah. Boy,
she's up there. She's on the show. She's like, you're like, it's a little chilly. I wish I had my Niners beanie.
Mm-hmm. I sure did. I said that multiple times. I was like, I should have brought it. It's out of the closet. I went to I brought it down. It's out of the closet. Okay. Mm-hmm. I also had to wear my Giants gear because me and my sweet boy back there is in the other room. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I dragged it. Oh, not dragged it, but we went to a Mets Giants game. Giants killed them 8-0. Felt good. All right.
Oh, wow.
So the Giants gear is with the 49er gear. It all came out. We're sports season's ready to go. Here we are, baby.
You're decking yourself out in San Francisco garb.
Yep. It's all I have. And my dad will be. It's only for my dad. That's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad, he loves we're going to a game as soon as we get into town. We're going to San Francisco. We're going to, I still call it Pac Bell Park, even though it's called some other trash park now. But
isn't it, what's Candlestick? Wasn't that something?
Candlestick, That was way back in the day. That was the
Oh,
49ers
it's old.
and the Giants used to share it, and then they had that massive earthquake, and then it kind of went to shit after that.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, there was an earthquake in Candlestick, and it's a beautiful place. It's on the water, and so it was probably really terrifying.
Oh.
Yeah.
I heard
you
that was
cheering.
is so the new stadium's not in the same spot anymore.
No, it's in downtown on the wharf.
Okay.
It's beautiful. It's
Oh.
right on the water. And when Barry Bonds was hitting those home runs, they would kayakers would go hang out in the wharf and wait for home runs to come in.
I remember seeing that. That seems like it's fun.
Ah, what a blast. Yeah.
But I mean,
Wow.
kayaking is very physically exhausting, and to race against some other drunk who wants number 499 home run,
Mhm. Yeah, it's true.
someone's gonna
That's
die.
pretty.
I think
Yeah,
I
but you-
saw him hit 500. I think it was at the game when I saw him hit 500.
Whoa.
It
I
sounds
was
like
at
it
the
wasn't
game.
too memorable.
Yeah.
I was like 12 when this happened. I was very young. But it was like I was at one of the big
He
ones.
hits 500. Your dad's like, okay.
Yeah. Or it was the one before 500. It was something. It was a big one. He tied some record or something like that. And I was
like
there.
a 499 maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it was like 62, which was the record for all time in one season. I think it might have been that
Oh.
one. Yeah. He tied
Oh.
the record for all most home runs in one season.
So you were there for 62.
I think so. What? I'll ask my dad. He'll know. Gare Bear will know. Okay, I don't know, but Gary Montana will know.
So that's
boy.
the baseball one's on the wharf. And where the football one is somewhere.
It's in Santa Clara. It's inland. It's south and in.
It's like a whole nother city, right?
It's a whole nother city. It's not in the Bay at all. Or it's technically in the Bay, but it's the South Bay, and it's not in San Francisco at all.
Oh, that's a whole. See, it's not even really your team anymore.
Oh, you shut your fucking mouth. I went to the Santa Clara soccer recruiting camp, so it's still mine. Yeah. You're looking at an okay soccer player.
Yeah. Did you get recruited?
I sure didn't. No.
But you were there. Okay.
I was there. Yeah.
Got recruited to the camp, and that's where it stopped.
Yeah. They were like, good try.
Yeah, but you were there for the recruiting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's one of my credits, is I say I auditioned for JFL.
Oh, good. Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh. I got to stop using that credit.
Since you're going to be watching some games this year,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think your record's going to be? There's 17 games this year too.
Yeah,
I think we're
again.
gonna win
Add it
18. That's what we're gonna do. 18-0,
Moral victories,
baby.
even on the bye.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think what are they saying? Are they saying Green Bay's supposed to be good?
Green Bay got destroyed yesterday.
Just kidding. We're gonna fucking kill them next week. And then I don't know. I like what's his name, the quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers.
I love Aaron. He's from the Bay Area, and he wanted more than anything to be a 49er, and they didn't draft him in the first round, which was stupid. They took Alex Smith. Yeah, which is just like fine, but come on. Alex Smith did well, but he's no Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, not even close. So we could add it, but I always root for him. I always root for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh boy.
You can really tell the way you talk about the 49ers, you can tell they have wronged you in the past. Like there's definitely some scar tissue about events for you in the 49ers.
Yeah. I know, but I think this team's good. It's going to be fun to watch, but I will not base my self-esteem on these people. I won't do it anymore.
Don't do it. Don't worry about it. Just watch the entertainment,
Yeah, I'll watch them dance those tight little pants. I like it.
Can I make a suggestion?
Please.
Go get yourself a third shirt. You deserve it.
Yeah. I might get a Kittle shirt. He's so good.
Ooh, he's so good. He's the best tight end out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's very, very good. And
he's got that flowing hair. Jeff and I were talking. We love a player whose hair comes out the back of his helmet. Love that.
Yeah. It's very pretty, and he seems to have a positive attitude about him. Okay, I like him. I like him. He's a cheery fella.
He's in a commercial this year for Kingsford Charcoal, and he's a pro wrestler. He's got a very great sense of humor too, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
There's nothing not to like.
He's the next Gronkowski. No one's got a better sense of humor than the Gronk. Okay.
There's a new commercial with Gronkowski where he's calling like the military insurance people. I don't know what they are, but
no.
he's trying to get it, and the military lady's like, "This is for military families only, for special people," and he goes, "But I'm special," and it's like, "Yeah, dude, you are pretty special."
Yay, Gronk. And he was like,
funny.
He was like, "This is gonna kill him."
Yeah.
I'll only do the commercial if I can write it.
Yeah, I think he tried to do stand-up too, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
He did a cruise, like a party cruise, like the Impractical Jokers do, and then he just brought a bunch of comics to which I believe he tried to host it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna be a personality, you host the show. You don't
Yep.
do the closing set. You host it. That's fun. Then they get to see
Yeah.
you the whole night. That's great. That's great.
He's just pounding beers up there on that stage, doing what
Good
the people
for
want.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep at it. Maybe Caitlin, one day you'll open for Kittle.
I mean, I'm hoping. I would love to. Good Lord.
At the parking lot formerly known as Candlestick.
Yeah.
And you're like, is that an earthquake or is she crushing?
I'll tell you, at that 9/11 show, I was killing. Okay, we're having fun. I'm sorry. Oh no. Oh boy. But yeah, I think they're gonna do well. I think it's gonna be a fun season.
Yeah,
We always manage to lose to the Seahawks, so I'm sure that's gonna happen again. And great. Pete Carroll is a piece of shit. I hope he dies in a fire, but everything else is great. Okay.
Nobody chokes on that gum he's constantly chewing on the sidelines. Have you seen that man chew gum on the sidelines like he's just a horse with peanut butter on his lips?
Can't even close his mouth for 2 minutes. Just
big.
come. And he's so
That's exactly
cocky.
it.
He's so cocky, just blah, blah, blah. We all know your quarterback is the best thing to ever happen to you. Don't even try and take credit, you fucking USC coach. Anyway.
I love it. Well, Caitlin, thank you so much for coming on and just talking about this.
I hope I really showed my capability of talking about football. All right.
You did, you know.
I think you genuinely showed a love of the 49ers because you were genuinely in pain in a few of the things that you said. You were like, this does upset me. And I remember why I got out. When I got out, you guys pulled me back in.
I know. One time I lost a bet at the restaurant and I had to bartend an entire brunch service wearing nothing but Seahawks gear. And,
boy.
Yeah, that was that last time too. And I was just like, I can't go through this again. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
That'd be like us in Green Bay stuff. So I could feel that pain.
Yeah.
But on that note, I was watching the Green Bay game yesterday, and I was like, I like green and yellow as colors. They go well together.
They're very good. They're very good colors. Those were also the colors of my high school.
Like it.
All right. What? Blue and silver? Get out of here.
Honolulu blue. It's Honolulu.
Yeah, it doesn't look good on white people. Okay, it's too bright on white people, and all you Detroiters are just the whitest, palest. It's washing you out. Okay, get some bronzer.
But wait, your high school was yellow and green?
Yeah, it was. We were the Cappuccino Mustangs.
Cappuccino?
Yes, it was only one P, CAPUCHINO. It was the name of the ranch that used to be at that school.
It feels like you should have been. It feels like you should have been tan and white.
You would think.
Yeah,
you
like
would
a
think.
little cappuccino.
Yeah, our color is foam. That is our color.
So you're a John Deere school.
The Cappuccino Mustangs.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, that's what we would do. Yeah. It was very sad.
Oh, that's fun. We were the Holly Bronchos.
You were the Bronchos, and everybody, because we grew up not too far away from each other, and Holly Bronchos, everybody made fun of the Bronchos.
What is a Broncho?
It's a Bronco, but we misspelled it.
On purpose? Please tell me it was on purpose.
I think that's what they told us.
They did. They lied to you, man.
No. Oh no!
They would be like, it's the old way they used to spell it.
That's just foreshadowing poor public education. Oh,
I
no.
googled it and it says Broncho is a less common spelling of bronco, a horse with a propensity to buck.
Yeah, see,
Oh.
The buck and
Or the
Bronchos.
yeah, the Bronchos.
Oh no. Oh, that
Yeah.
someone studied abroad, came back and was like, "Oh, it's the Bronchos," you know. They were
Yeah. Let's name this hillbilly school after it.
yeah.
Well, Caitlin, I'm glad you could do this. I'm glad
This
you
was fun.
This
I
was
released
fun.
if
so
this
much
sparks some
laughter, a lot of
NFL for
serotonin
you.
released. I feel great about it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good. It felt
Huge
good because
success.
we beat the shit out of you.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Barely.
Yeah,
We
yeah, I
came
think you're right
back.
there. Yeah.
All right. Well, do you want
At
to?
least you came, Jeff. Jesus
All
Christ, it's
right.
been a long window for you.
Well, Caitlin, do you want to take us off with your team's fighting song? All right, here you go.
I'm ready. 49ers, 49ers. We are the 49ers. We dig for gold. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We beat those stupid fucking Detroit Lions.